Hello students, welcome back. The next lesson that we are going to study is Socialism in Europe and the Russian Revolution. First, let us understand the meaning of the term socialism. Socialism meant common ownership, while on the other hand, common ownership meant that everybody has a right to participate in the decision-making process on how the global resources will be used. Let us trace down the history of socialism. Socialism has its origins in the French Revolution of 1789 and the changes which were brought about by the Industrial Revolution. The French Revolution opened up the possibility of creating a dramatic change in the way in which the society was basically structured. Hence, we see that when there was a sudden change in the society that occurred in the French Revolution, which was basically dominated by the church and the aristocracy and into the various estates that were very prominent in the French society. So, in Europe also there were certain groups of people. Not everyone in Europe, however, wanted a complete transformation of the society. There were responses that varied from those who accepted that some change was necessary but wished for a gradual shift to, on the other hand, there were those people who wanted to restructure the society radically. Hence, there were three groups of people. They were the liberals, the conservatives and the radicals. The liberals were a group of people who wanted a change in the society. They were also tolerant to all the various religions that they had. But on the other hand, the liberals opposed the uncontrolled power of the dynastic rulers. They opposed the monarchy form of a government. The liberals also wanted a parliamentary government. This parliamentary government would be the representative of the people, which would safeguard the rights of the individuals against the government. They also wanted that the government would make the laws and these laws could be interpreted by a well-trained judiciary system. However, the liberals were not like the Democrats. The Democrats favored universal adult franchisee. What is the concept of universal adult franchisee? Universal adult franchisee basically means that all adults who are above the 18 years of age would be given the right to vote. So over here, the liberals did not favor the concept of universal adult franchisee, while on the other hand, the Democrats favored the concept of universal adult franchisee. However, the viewpoint of the liberals differed from the Democrats in the concept of universal adult franchisee. The liberals felt that all the men who had property should have the right to vote, but they were against the concept of a woman voting for their government. Next, the radicals were a group of people who wanted a nation in which the government would be based on the majority of the country's population. They also supported the women's suffrage movement. But unlike the liberals, they opposed the privileges of great landowners and the wealthy factory owners. They were not against the existence of private property, but they disliked the fact that the concentration of the property would go into the hands of the few. However, on the other hand, the conservatives differed from both the liberals and the radicals. Their views and ideologies were different. They believed in the privileges that could be enjoyed by the nobility and the wealthy class. However, after the French Revolution, the conservatives believed in bringing change to the society, but that change would take place at a slow pace. The conservatives also believed that the past should be respected and the changes that could be seen in the society should be made in a slow and steady manner, and it should be done in a gradual way. Next, let us talk about the industrial change and the social change. The Industrial Revolution first began in the 18th century in England. Later, it spread to the other parts of Europe. Industrialization resulted in large-scale migration of people from the rural area to the urban area. The liberals and the radicals, who were the property owners and the employers, they firmly believed that the values of individual effort, labor and enterprise should be respected. On the other hand, some of the people also wanted the revolution to put an end to this kind of a system. But we see that there were men, women and children who were pushed into the factories for low wages. Hence, it was only that for the benefit of industrialization, the liberals and the radicals believed that they should pass on the work to the workers. Next, let us talk about how does socialism come to Europe. By the mid-19th century, in Europe, socialism was a very known idea of facts that attracted many people. Socialists were against the private property and they saw it as the root of all social evils, as individuals who owned the property gave employment, but they were only concerned with their personal gain and not with the welfare of the society as a whole. Hence, they wanted the society to change, and this could be done only with the ideas of few people. Over here we see that Robert Owen believed in the idea of cooperatives, while Louis Blanc felt that the cooperatives could be built only if the government encourages them. And lastly, we talk about Karl Marx, who argued that an industrial society was capitalist, which exploited the workers, and they had kept them for a profit for themselves. And he also believed that the workers had to construct a radically socialist society where all the property was socially controlled by all. Hence, the socialists formed an organization which came to be known as the Second International. This organization was formed by a group of people and their main ideas was to spread the ideas of socialism. Workers in England and Germany began forming associations, and this association was basically formed so that they could fight for better living and for better working conditions. In Germany, these associations worked closely with the Social Democratic Party that had helped them to win the elections at their parliamentary seats. By 1905, the socialists and the trade unions formed a Labour Party in Britain and a Socialist Party in France. And finally, their ideas did shape, legislation did take into place, but the government continued to be run by the three group of people, which were the conservatives, the liberals and the radicals. So with this, we basically come to an end of our lesson. The remaining part of the lesson, where we would be discussing how the Russian Revolution enters into Russia and what was the structure of the Russian Empire in the year 1940, that we would be discussing it in the next class. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Thank you and have a nice day.